So, this video, this guy's claiming that hardcore players are ruining games, specifically Wuthering Waves. He's getting some. Okay, his like to dislike ratio is pretty dog water. To be honest, I'm starting to notice a pattern here, a big pattern. Anytime a creator uploads a video minorly criticizing Wuthering Waves, they get bombarded with dislikes and bombarded with comments criticizing them. Yeah, I don't have anything really against Wuthering Waves. If you want to see my full analysis, it's on my YouTube channel. It's there right now. It's a full Wuthering Waves review. Anyways, this guy's video, why hardcore players are ruining games. I think we can hear him out. I don't know. I don't think I've seen any of this guy's videos before, to be honest. Yeah, I've never seen this. I don't think I've seen this guy's video. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a watch. We'll see what he has to say about Wuthering Waves and why hardcore players are ruining Wuthering. This guy's very purple right now. He's making me purple, dude.
Hardcore players are ruining our games. Specifically, Wuthering Waves. So I consider myself a tier below hardcore. I min-max here or there if I have a favorite character, but
Same.
I'm not gonna sit here and try to exhaust the entire game in a week. It's like these people buy a family-sized box of cereal and they eat it within 2 to 3 days. Bro, learn some fucking serving sizes. I'm gonna go through some points on why I think these people are ruining the games. They're gonna cause some issues for this game, and you can't really do anything about it because if people enjoy the game this much and they want to min-max it and they want to 100% everything, they should be able to do this 100%. But I think it has a lot of negative effects on the development of these games. So I want to go through how these actually affect the game. Content exhaustion. I hate how the game will come out and you have these people that will beat every single piece of content. And I talked about this a long time ago about how hardcore players were going to beat the hard content on day one. And I don't think anyone's reached that level because I think the devs understood, yeah, these people, they gonna run through the content. That's why you can't upgrade your echoes. They bottleneck echo XP. Like, they put all these locks on the game because they know these people are gonna just run through everything. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I mean, I've run through some of the content, but I know, let me take my time because there are update cycles in these games. And if you just run through everything, you're gonna be the one in someone's chat. You're gonna be the one in someone's video comments talking about, bro, there's no content. Where's the content? What should I do? Oh, this game's trash. It has no content. Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? It's like, dude, you did everything you were supposed to do. It's like becoming a billionaire. You beat the game. You ain't got nothing to do. I mean, just imagine the strain that this will have on devs because they build something that's supposed to be done within a certain cycle. That causes people to call the game bad and there's nothing to do. It's boring. It's like, no, dude, you're the one that's just playing 16 hours a day, bro. Imagine.
Okay. I know what this guy's saying, right? About how people will easily complain that there's nothing to do when they've beaten the game content. Meanwhile, they've beaten the game content far quicker than the devs anticipated. However, I will also say the devs should be, and he has acknowledged this, that they should be anticipating that people are going to clear the game within such a short time span, right? Yet the devs have anticipated that there will be people that are trying to clear this game and clear its early content or whatever in such a short time span, especially content creators, so they can get videos out about the game, they can release guides and just kind of be a step above all the casual players, right? So it is on the devs really to make sure that that's not something that can happen too easily and people can just get bored of the game immediately, right? But I definitely wouldn't say it's the fault of the player. Like, I don't think you can shame somebody for playing a game 16 hours a day, because it's like, I mean, like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. And if you can, I don't even think you can shame them for saying that there's nothing to do, even after they've played the game for 16 hours a day for a week straight, right? I think that's just kind of, I'll continue hearing them out. You know, I'll continue hearing them out.
If you took them 16 hours and did something else with it, imagine how your life would be. Anyway, I think people pushing the game to its limit the first few days causes the devs to release lower quality updates. And I think we've seen this with a lot of games. I'm not gonna mention other games because I don't feel like dealing with shills and crybabies, but you can think of the games that you probably know what I'm talking about, where over time the updates just felt rushed, things weren't thought through, the events kind of sucked. And I think devs do this to kind of satiate the hardcore players or people who just push all the content, because it's like, okay, well, we got to shut them up. They're right. The content, there is no content in the game. So, I mean, we got to add something. And I feel like they don't actually get a chance to just really make something special. But I feel like this is a issue that happens in most games, that probably will happen with this game, because this game is more of a hardcore experience. Now, I'll be honest, okay? I like this one. I like this point here. I like this issue. So exploit discovery. Because hardcore players 100% the game, for the next 3 weeks, what you gonna do? Try to exploit the game. Try to min-max. This is just the cycle of life. This is just what happens. And you find little hacks and exploits and cheats to bypass the regular game mechanics. In Wuthering Waves, there's a lot of echo exploits right now, and I'll be honest, I'm using them shit too. Okay, look, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. Look, I get it, but I'm just saying, although I like it, I think it's still bad for the game. I 100% do, because these exploits contribute to the content exhaustion, the pacing issues, which causes the devs to have to force updates or give low quality updates. And
to be honest, this is a take somewhat related to what he's talking about right now, but it's more of a general about this video title, why hardcore players are running games. I actually kind of agree with this take. Want to know why? Is because it just makes me not want to play the game when the game has been out for like a week, it seems, and there's people already in the end game content. There's people already like 70 hours ahead of the game where I'm at, and I'm like, dude, hello. Like I thought that we were all supposed to be playing the game together. You know what I mean? It's like a, and of course there are casual players who are probably where I'm at, but it's just not. It's just kind of off-putting, if you will, when there are people just like immediately grinding 20 hours of this game a day. And I'm like, hello? Like, do you not have anything else to do? Anything? Like, have you eaten breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Like, are you okay? Like, and just people like kind of, like you're saying, exhausting the game. So I actually really kind of agree with this point. But I know that will make people mad because, you know, you have to rush to the defense of Wuthering Waves.
And maybe this does or doesn't affect it, but it seems like it. I'm not at their headquarters developing the game. Maybe it doesn't affect anything. And if it doesn't, great. Now I want to talk about the feedback overload, because I think these people are so unaware of themselves. They don't realize they are the problem. Now I'm all for feedback and criticism, but I think there is a point in which it's too much. And it's like, all right, bro, you're asking for way too much. And I think that since these people are so aggressive, a lot of other issues get overshadowed, because it's like, oh, well, we gotta help these people because look how much they're complaining. And I think a lot of the issues that hardcore adjacent players experience,
like what,
aren't necessarily issues that need to be handled right away, when you could just wait for the next update. But it's like they want them to rush and it's like, dude, just let them cook a little bit.
Like what though? Wait, I would have liked for him to give us somewhat of an example there, because I don't know exactly what he means by like people are, I'm assuming he means people are like nitpicking on the game, but like what? Like just one example.
Next, I want to talk about unrealistic expectations. Now, I'll be real. I'm a part of this too, okay? We all do this. We all imagine how the game could be or should be, but I think this is mostly bad for the game. I don't necessarily think being hardcore is the specific issue with this. I think it's mostly all players, but you see it more from like hardcore players or the hardcore audience in general, where they'll apply these crazy expectations of the game because, you know, they're like, oh man, what if this mechanic could do this? Oh, the next character is going to be busted. Oh, they're gonna blah blah blah. And we've seen this a million times, and I think this hurts the game because the reality is often disappointing. Perfect example I can give for this is Genshin. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if they added a character that did this and did this? Oh, dude, they could update the mechanics. They could do this. Oh, dude, they can buff this character. And then when they don't do it, we're like, oh, the game's trash. You can't apply these high expectations to a game that didn't plan on even being that thing that you want it to be. And I think Genshin is that, where it's like, yo, we're just
right. I don't think this is a problem with hardcore players. I mean, he already said this. This is kind of, everybody does this, right? But I also don't think that it's a horrible thing to place high expectations, because if you do, that kind of puts more pressure on the devs to make better content. I think that's kind of the whole innate point of it. Because I mean, first of all, I would say, what if we just like kind of went through the game in such a mundane way that was like, oh, the next character probably gonna be all right. I'm just gonna play the game. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, the devs are not like pushed to like release an insane banger character because there's no hype. If there's a huge hype surrounding a character or surrounding the next character that's ambiguous, like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It's probably gonna be something insane. And then they release like a boring, bleak character that doesn't that doesn't have any appeal. Then they're gonna receive backlash, right? And then that backlash is gonna result in them kind of learning their lesson and releasing better content. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of the cycle of how these things kind of go. And there are some times that we're let down, and then that's kind of a reminder that, okay, well, the devs can't always release an insane character every update, right? Like, you have to have some kind of buffer period, like a break. So I mean, I think it's a cycle that will work out. I don't think it breaks
casual,
games.
Like, we weren't trying to be a hardcore game. Like, what y'all doing? It's like Fortnite. They even added no build because, like, bro, we never wanted to be a freaking try hard cracked game. We just wanted a fun game for people to play, and then y'all just want to fucking try to make this your career. Back to Genshin Impact. Yeah, people, they had these crazy expectations, and they never ever capitalized on them at all, like literally
Like what?
at all. I mean, we have Wuthering Waves today, so I think that we worked out fine, right? We're good. We're handled. Okay, we're handled. Thanks, Kiro. But yeah, I think unrealistic expectations could hurt games, and it does hurt games. So with Wuthering Waves, I feel like a lot of people say, "Oh, dude, the next characters are gonna be so cracked." They should, but when they're not, we just, oh, we're so disappointed. Oh God, how could they? How could they not make the best thing ever?
How has that happened though with Wuthering Waves? Sorry, I have a kettle in the background. I'm making tea. Has that happened with Wuthering Waves though? Has this scenario happened? I mean, because they haven't really released another update. You know what I mean? So like, how do we know that these expectations are unrealistic, and what expectations are we giving them? I think this is just kind of like oh, this might happen. You know what I mean? Like, so just be careful. I don't know.
We're created in the universe. I mean, you gotta sit in reality. Not every character is gonna be busted. Not everything is gonna be this and that. And you don't know their plan. You don't know what they're trying to do with the game. And I think Wuthering Waves is gonna be fine, 100%. But I'm talking about it because I see it becoming a problem slowly but surely. Now we're going to talk about the meta. Now this one gets under my skin personally because I think this actually ruins the game. This is the thing that ruins the game in its entirety. So the metas. And who creates the metas? The hardcore players. The reason this is an issue is because with games where you have builds and stuff like that, where you can have classes, or let's just stick to Wuthering Waves, you can build your character and you have this ecosystem. I think the fun is building your own character, finding out your own builds. But when you have these people that just automatically apply meta, say, oh, you're not optimizing your character great enough. Oh man, you need to have this echo. You need to have this. It's like, bro, like let people.
I know where you're coming from. There's a simple solution. Just do what you want to do. In my opinion, the simple solution to this problem is just do what you want to do. Build your characters how you want to build them. It is what it is, right? There's a meta out there. You don't have to look up guides. You don't have to do all this and that. But I do know where he's coming from, where there's pressure to do such a thing because you're like, well, if I don't make my character this way, then like people are gonna judge me and be like, oh, well, you know, like, why aren't you running this set? What the hell are you doing? Like, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your wave plate or whatever. You're wasting your stamina. But I mean, if you're really bothered by that, there's no solution to that. This is how it is in Honkai Star Rail. This is how it is in every game where there is builds, like you said. So this is not a Wuthering Waves problem, and this is not a problem that can be fixed in general. I feel like this has like been going on for ages. And I know it does make the game less fun when there's you know that there's a certain right way to do things, and you could possibly not be doing that. So then you have like a kind of fear, like a FOMO type of fear that's like, well, I need to be running the meta, and then you spend like 30 minutes looking up the best build and like comparing it to what you're running and figuring out how I'm gonna get that, and then you have to stress about, oh, do I have wave plates or whatever and grind for it. But really, if it concerns you that much, just don't worry about it.
experiment and have fun with the build, and it's like you put pressure on people. Oh well, you're not gonna beat this boss if you don't have this meta. It's like the whole fun of hard content is figuring out the hard content. Why are you stripping the fun away from the game, which is building the fucking characters? Why would I even play the game if...
Well, like I said, if people are telling you, oh, you can't beat the boss, the best thing to do if somebody is telling you, oh, you're not gonna be able to beat the boss with that kit, with that build, beat the boss with the build. Prove them wrong. I just beat the boss with the build, dumbass. I need that build, right? I need that build, huh? Like, just
if you just gonna play it for me. But then when you have these people that just completely min-max and they force you and pressure you into building it a certain way because, oh, if you don't have the optimal build, you're a loser. Let me give you an example. What's his name? Lin Yang. Everyone said, oh, he's trash, he's so garbage. Bro, when I got that dude to my account, he obliterated everything. What are you talking about? He's trash. How is he trash? Wow, he does 1% less than Calcharo. Shut up. He's not fucking trash. There's no character in the game that is trash. That's why I say, bro, this is so annoying where it's like this meta, because these people are operating on like of the 1%. Like, oh man, well, this character is actually way better because they do 2% more damage in this specific scenario. It's like, bro, the fuck you talking about? Here's my rule. If it does 20% extra, it's better. If it does anything less, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. This one roused me up. Maybe I'm doing too much. And if I'm doing too much, let me know down in the comment. Let's just move on. Okay, let's move on to the last point here.
What we got?
Now this last one is adjacent to the meta, and it's gameplay monotony. I think this is bad because if everyone is playing the game the exact same way, what the fuck is the point of playing the game? Everyone has the same exact build. They have the same exact artifacts, echoes on their characters. I think this is bad for the game because it's just like, bro, the point of having a ecosystem or artifact system is so that people can build the characters they want, how they want, and try different things. And I think more...
All right, I'm gonna interrupt them a little bit here. This would be correct if there was one set per every character in the game. But the whole point is, even on sites like Pridewin or whatever, they give you multiple different builds in order of how good they are, right? They give you different options if you're really just gonna follow a build guide. And let me use Honkai Star Rail as a comparison. You don't have to run Dance 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 on Tingyun. Or you don't have to run Sparkle's signature light cone on Sparkle. You can run Bronya's signature light cone. You can run Dance Dance Dance, right? And there really is no best build. It depends on your team. There's just so many external factors that is not on a character by character basis. It's like, okay, this is the best build for this character. This is objectively the best build for this character. This is objectively like there is no like objective best build for each character because it depends on who you put them with. And that's why, and it depends, it not only depends that, it depends maybe your playstyle is different. There are just so many external factors. It depends what weapon you have on them, right? It depends your level of investment. It really depends on your account. It's less dependent on, this is the meta, you must do this. If you don't want to metagame, don't metagame. And you can still probably beat all the content in the game.
More specifically the ecosystem, because the echoes have abilities themselves, so you can really customize your build.
So
what I've been seeing is a lot of people just using the same fucking template, the same shit. It's so bad. We talking team comp. People is playing the same team comps. Oh, you play more Mortify with this character and you gotta play. It's like, what? Oh, it's gonna make the game feel boring. You're watching a video and you're copying to a T what that person does, and you're not actually having the fun, because the fun of the game isn't beating the hard content. It's learning how to fucking beat the content. Oh man, how do I beat Memphis or Tempest? Well, his name is so stupid. They tried to rhyme it. You're not Dr. Seuss. Sit down, Kiro. This is just how I feel. I feel like this really ruins games, and it would be nice to see different stuff. And maybe this is Kiro's fault.
Okay, am I crazy, or are people actually searching up how to beat bosses in this game? I'm not even trying to be that guy. Like, oh, this game is literally easy. How are you guys failing that? Like, are people actually looking up guides on how to beat Tempest Memphis or whatever? It's just like a boss. It's like a mini boss. I don't know. Just beat it. Okay, I don't think there's a problem with having guides and builds and team comps that people reuse, right? I don't see the problem.
For just putting stuff in the game where you can only do something one way. But what I've seen is there's tons of other builds that people use that are just as good or better than what the meta is. So yeah, I think the hardcore players definitely create this like repetitive environment.
So use those builds.
So yeah, that's the video. That's just what I want to talk about today. Subscribe, like, and comment. You know, do all that YouTube juicy stuff. Yeah, okay.
I'll like the video. All right. I'll subscribe to you. Sure. You got me. You got me. I fine. You know, I think a lot of these takes are a little overblown.
Is that where
I think some of these takes can really, you can just kind of ignore a lot of the problems that he's having here. And if not, if you don't want to just ignore the problems or whatever, if just don't, you don't have to follow the meta. You know, I really explained it all my takes during the video. It is what it is, to be honest. At the end of the day, that's my take. Just do what you want. You don't have to conform to meta. If you want to conform to meta, do it. It is what it is. Just play the game. But yeah.